Hey guys, Michael here. Before we get started with today's episode, we have a little bit of an announcement. We are now accepting questions from our audience. So if you have a question you want to ask us, doesn't matter what it's about, go ahead and send it to us at idiotsofrandomness@gmail.com. Put questions inside the subject line. Written questions are fine. Audio questions would be even better. Just keep it down to a file size of under 20 megabits and a length of under 1 minute. Please also make sure that these questions are appropriate because I will be screening them and any inappropriate questions will be thrown away. Hope to hear from you guys soon. And now let's get to the episode. Welcome to the Idiots of Randomness, Episode 3, recorded April 19th, 2020. Hello everyone, welcome to the Idiots of Randomness. I'm your host, Michael McElroy, and today we are of course joined with the ever-venerant Chris/Meta/Metron/Aussie.
How are we all doing? Did you seriously have to put in the Aussie bit? Like that's like the most important thing.
I did it the last time you were on.
Did you?
Yes, we were going to call you the Australian.
Oh, well, I'm very, very aware because I'm Aussie.
Yes, because most of your country is already burned into fiery bits.
That's personal.
Look, I don't know what the hell. I don't know who started the game of Jumanji at the beginning of 2020, but what the fuck is this going?
Somebody got the one where you get bushfires, like just roaming around.
January was like in World War III impending doom. February, everything caught on fire in Australia. And then March, here comes chugging in March, coronavirus, and then April, lockdown. Everybody's in lockdown.
It's been weird these last couple of months. Like, what the hell just happened?
Look, I mean, I can't go into a store right now without putting a mask on.
Oh, I can. I just go in the work
they
with
won't
no
allow
mask.
it. They literally will say, if you're going to come in the store, you have to have face covering.
Oh, that's stupid.
Which would be relatively okay if I could actually find a face mask.
Do they sell out?
People are buying it like it's toilet paper.
Well, okay.
It's fucking crazy. So so right now what I'm using is I have a couple old plain white t-shirts. And I cut those down into some masks, so I just go, there you go.
You just just strap your mouth over the piece of cloth.
Yeah, well, no, I actually cut a mask out of the t-shirt.
Survival skills.
Survival.
Genius.
So
man.
How you been, Meta?
With the lockdown, I kind of want to go outside a bit more. Basically, like I see a lot of people around 5:30 in the afternoon. They're out on their bikes or on the footpath just walking. It's like a parade out there at that time. Because everyone thinks
everybody's supposed to be social distancing, they're all outside.
But everyone just thinks like, oh, if we go around in the late afternoon, they'll think nobody's gonna come out at that time. Everyone has the same idea. Everybody is out there. So families
and then cue
on
the
bikes.
Jurassic Park theme. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have been going to bike stores buying bikes. Or one person stole our bike.
Wow, yeah. What a charming individual.
It wasn't my bike, it was my brother's. So.
Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah. But I have to drive him to work now because of it, because he has no bike. He used to drive.
Not this again.
Yeah, no, I'm bringing this up. I used to drive him to work until he had his bike. Now he doesn't have a bike anymore. I'm driving him to work.
Look, didn't you recently have one of your brothers just get his license?
Yeah, but he sometimes takes another car and might be at work, or he's had a busy day and I'm the one who has to do it. No. We want to make it equal.
I don't believe that for bullshit. He's the middle brother, right? The one that just got his license.
Yeah.
Drive the youngest brother to work. Take him.
Yeah, but who's picking him up is the question.
Him!
We swap. Like, either I'm driving him to work then the next person who has to pick him up is going to be either me or him. It depends.
Look,
who does it first.
Did you have to ferry both of your brothers around when you were the only one that was licensed?
Yes, okay.
The good news, it's the middle brother's turn now. That's how this works. You paid your dues. It's the middle brother's turn. You should make that argument to him.
I'll try. All right. Anything else before we start with the topic of this podcast? If you'd like to tell people what you have in mind.
Yes. So, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But actually, going back to what you're saying about everybody going outside, it makes me actually wonder, is there going to be like some weird renaissance where everybody does things like old-fashioned, like everybody wants to go to a store to buy something rather than just buying it on Amazon? Is there going to be... I'm not going to wait for this movie to come out on Blu-ray or come out on Netflix. I'm going to go to the theater and watch it.
Well, there's no theaters are open.
Exactly. So, but when they all open again, is there going to be like a renaissance where that people are actually going to want to go out and do shit rather than just stay at home and do it on the internet? Because they have to do everything on the internet right now.
The internet, like everyone that has to work, go to school on the internet.
Yes. The kids are going to want to go back to school. I want to see my friends.
You see them on Discord, man, or Skype. If you still use Skype, then what the hell? What year is it for you, man?
It's 2000. It's 2010. Welcome to Skype. Oh God, I would hate to do this over. Actually, well, it would work. Although audio quality on Skype is absolutely god-awful.
Skype is so shit with audio.
I mean, we barely even use the Discord audio when we do this thing, but even the Discord audio by itself is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as long as you have good internet.
Anyway, today we're going to be discussing what is the best parallel universe or cinematic universe or just any. We're going to discuss the multiverse for this podcast.
I wish there was a movie about the multiverse, like, about different franchises crossing together.
It's almost like there's going to be a whole movie about the multiverse coming up with Vision.
I thought that was Doctor Strange.
Is it? Oh, it is Doctor Strange.
Yeah. I was like, I know
Vision, wait,
you were
Vision's
talking
dead.
about,
What am I saying?
Dude,
what am
you're
I
completely
saying?
wrong.
Okay, so I think that the way we're going to do this, we're going to break this down into various genres of multiverses. Because if we just start spouting out multiverses, it's going to become a shit show. Mm-hmm. More than the show's already a shit show. So we're going to start with movies. The best movie universes. What do you think?
Like the best franchise movies I've seen in like the last couple of years, I would say, well, Harry Potter, because I grew up with that. So
I think everybody that was born in from like 90 in the late 90s and
mid 90s or something like that, yeah, they would have just grew up with Harry Potter.
What year were you born?
Not okay, we're getting personal here, but 1998.
We're gonna date meta. Oh,
yeah,
okay, we'll date myself.
Well,
I'm
this
95,
podcast is gonna be learning about meta. No, there'll be a future podcast, perhaps. You'll want to learn about me in the future.
One of these days, I may actually tell you guys my real name.
Maybe. I know your real name, but I'm not going to tell you.
I know you know my real name.
That's going to be a spoiler. Anyway, he's not sponsoring that drink wherever he's having. Where is it?
This is Habit Burger.
Habit?
Actually, yes, it's a local chain here. Very good burgers.
Yeah, he's not sponsoring anybody.
But not as good as In-N-Out. Let's just get that out of the way.
You just said it's good, okay? Positive reviews. Anyway.
We keep going out and we do this every time.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but everybody, I think anybody that was born after or in the mid 90s loved or grew up with Harry Potter and loved Harry Potter. I remember seeing the first Harry Potter film in St. George, Utah, which is, if you don't know, is like this little town in you don't even know where Utah is, do you?
I can't remember. I've heard that. I know what Utah is, but I don't remember where it is on the planet. Basically,
it's in America.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. No, but okay. So it was in this little town when we were visiting my grandmother, and to be honest, St. George is, if anybody knows what I'm talking about with St. George, it's full of old people, so it's very boring. So when my parents were there, and especially with me being, when did the first Harry Potter come out?
2001, I think it was.
2001? 2000,
yeah,
2001.
Yeah, 2001.
What's behind you that told you that?
Okay. Alright, let me just move this over.
Okay, so he turned around. He's just like,
okay.
Well, it's 2001.
No, look, you see here. So I have
Oh,
a photo frame.
okay.
It tells me the date of when the movie came out, like in the middle. It tells me each movie when it came out in cinemas.
I haven't seen that before, so I was like, what the hell? Does he have this just written down?
Yeah, no, it's just at the back of my wall. I just look back and like, oh, I'm a Harry Potter fan. You know that now. Anyway, let's put that back. We just saw that. Yeah,
let's get you sent. There you go.
If anybody was wondering why I turned around that point. Yeah, but yeah.
No, but yeah.
2001.
So,
2001.
2001, I was probably 5 at the time, and my dad's just like, okay, we need to get the kids out, because I'm 5, my brother's 7, they're bored out of their skull. You can only sit in a living room for so many hours and play with with a little touch lamp. No, but Harry Potter itself, I think, is probably one of the best universes that have come, because it completely redefines the idea of, okay, so you have this old idea of like having witches and wizards and whatnot, but they still exist, but they have to try to hide themselves very cleverly from the Muggle world.
Yes.
And some of the ways they do that is, I think it's cheating as hell, because you're trying to tell me that nobody saw the giant flying clouds going through London in, what was it? Was that fifth movie?
Flying clouds, what?
When they were destroying shit in London.
I think they're invisible,
one of the films.
like, to them. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, they do this whole bit where they go invisible, but they were flying through the town for like a good 20 minutes before that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's weird. Sometimes.
Also, if there's an invisibility spell, why do they have cloaks of invisibility?
They have a charm on it. It wears off.
Okay, it's a charm. Okay.
Yeah. It just shows you how much I know Harry Potter, in case anybody wonders that. Because I've read.
I think you're probably the biggest Harry Potter fan. I mean, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
But you're bigger than I am.
Like, I can probably name a lot of dialogue scenes. Like, I can tell you where they're from. Like,
well, you gave me the challenge the other day where think of a line and it's the most, and you give me a line and he can continue it for. What was the one I did? It was like really esoteric.
Oh, I forget which one it was.
Oh, I know. I remember it was Lily.
Oh, always. Like, Lily, all this time, always. Yeah, like, I
which, for anybody who doesn't know
which scene it's from, and like, yeah.
That's definitely how it was part 2 when Harry's in the Pensieve.
Yeah, in the Pensieve, yeah.
Yeah, so he knows exactly where that's from. I mean, I know where that's from, but
I made my brother do the same thing the other day, but he had to look up on his phone the actual dialogue, and I'm like, "Are you seriously doing this? Can you not remember?"
Does he try to say he's a fan of Harry Potter?
Yes, he's the one that says,
well, he's clearly not a fan
of Harry Potter, but I never read the books. I've watched all the movies, but I haven't read the books.
That's not a fan. That's not a fan.
Yeah. You're phony.
I mean, admittedly, I read the books much later. After I think I started reading the books probably after the. It was either Prisoner of Azkaban or Goblet of Fire came out.
Start reading the book. My dad actually read me the books for the first time. Is how which is like that's.
Actually, and the most people that say I've read the books, they've listened to the audiobook with Stephen Fry. Actually, I don't know if you ever heard any of the audiobook for it.
No, I don't listen to audiobook because it just distracts me. Listening to somebody talk like in like text to speech format.
No. I mean, Stephen Fry. I mean, it's literally it's physical person in a recording booth reading the book to you.
Oh, okay. That'll be a lot of work.
It's quite nice. It is a lot of work because from what I've heard of it, you get the producers that like, okay, I like the way you said that, but can you add just a little bit more emphasis on this word and do the whole paragraph again? It's like, really?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I want to say when I first like watched Harry Potter, I think it was the first one I saw in cinemas was probably the 5th one. Like, I don't remember if I watched the 4th one in cinemas, but I remember watching the 5th one in cinemas and then onward. So
see, it's actually funny. So you did an exact opposite that I did. Because growing up, I mean, it was like, we went to go visit my grandmother. We went and saw a Harry Potter film.
Yeah,
every summer.
I watched all the DVDs like well enough, let's say. But like the 5th one, I think was the first one I saw in cinemas. Like, but I was always caught up to where I was.
I remember watching Prisoner of Azkaban for the first time in a movie theater. When Lupin transforms into the werewolf, that scene scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. Oh, there's
literally
few creepy scenes like in Harry Potter that I will say I like it in the first couple of Harry Potter films. They basically bring up like mystery, like for example, who's after the Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone, whatever. I don't know why that name is different in different countries, but yeah.
It's the same everywhere except for America.
Yeah, it's Philosopher's for everywhere else. I don't know why you call it Sorcerer's Stone. I don't get it.
Don't ask me. I don't know. Probably because Sorcerer's Stone sounds more dramatic, in which, in all honesty, it is.
Yeah, but it sounds like, so yeah, we have witch and wizards, but we also have sorcerers. Like, it's sorcerers, Okay.
What was it in the second film? Albus Dumbledore is the greatest sorcerer in the world.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, so we
claim to be a
bit
fan.
of a mystery, and also Chamber of Secrets has mystery of like who's the heir to Salazar Slytherin? Where's the Chamber of Secrets? Basically like that. Is it true?
No, I agree.
You really think there is
agree.
a Chamber of Secrets? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was bringing up a dialogue scene there.
No, I mean, no, it's fine, but I totally agree with you. I mean, so yeah, Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say you can say Philosopher.
I don't care what you
Sorcerer,
say. Everybody knows what it is.
We know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because the first one you basically have, Voldemort's coming is in the Dark Forest for some reason, and you have the whole thing about what's going on with the Sorcerer's Stone and what's up with this weird 3-headed dog doing in the attic.
Yeah.
Actually, here's a good question. How did they get the dog in the room?
I don't know, but that's... I don't think it's something you need to actually think about. Honestly,
No, it's gonna... these are things I think about somehow. You know those moments when you're just about to fall asleep and something really random pops into your head?
Yeah.
That's one of those moments.
Yeah, I guess
How did Fluffy get in the room? Yeah. Oh, wait, no. Harry Potter, they just apparated in there.
Who knows? But
try apparating with a giant 3-headed dog. That'll go well.
Yeah, I mean, also, yeah, so you can also tell when directors sort of change when Harry Potter starts becoming a bit more dark by the time they get to the 4th movie,
Yeah, I mean, even though the 4th one was still relatively light, and they still have that little sting of mystery of who put Harry's name in the Goblet of Fire and that kind of stuff. But that was really the only little tidbit, and then the rest of it is all just storyline of just, the challenges, and here's another challenge, and here's the ball.
Point this out real quickly. You do realize that if Harry did die in this tournament, your whole plan is gone. That's
so,
the one
yes,
thing
we'll put him into the...
problem with is, you're setting up this big plan, this is going to take a couple months, but it's all going to be worth it to bring Harry Potter to the graveyard.
It took him a whole school year.
And now I'm going to duel with Harry Potter, and then he's going to be mine to finish. And if he dies, you better not make him die. He's going to survive this.
I mean, admittedly, he did have Moody or Barty Crouch Jr. Actually
Doctor Who, basically.
Yes, Doctor Who kind of keeping him alive during the whole thing and helping him. So that was a little bit of assistance there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, what if he actually drowned in the Black Lake?
Oh my gosh, I killed Harry Potter. That would have been so funny. How Neville would have been like, oh my god, Neville's the one that killed him. Yeah.
You just see Harry's just struggling.
Yes. But yeah.
Roll credits.
I mean, what would you say what's the best Harry Potter film out of those ones?
Ooh, that's a hard one. All of them have their own moments. Prisoner of Azkaban for the part everybody loves is Hermione punching Draco in the face. There's 3 movies in which Draco needed to be punched in the face.
Yeah, I mean, no, I like Sirius Black in that movie. I think he's a good character, Sirius Black in general.
Yeah, you can really see how absolutely horrible the last 13 years had been to him.
Well, I mean, he's basically put in Azkaban by Peter Pettigrew, and he's like, I want to kill this guy for what he did to me.
I did my waiting.
12 years of it in Azkaban.
Yeah, but it was just, It is a really that is a good movie.
And then Pettigrew he's just like Remus, Sirius, my old friends. It's just like, I was like, dude,
he's sniveling. No wonder he transforms into a rat.
Yeah, you really think that's gonna work?
No, I would say probably my favorite film. I'm gonna have to say Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, okay. Explain why.
Mainly because, I mean, you have the great, like, person, or the great villain to be going up against,
Dolores
which is Dolores Umbridge. It is not Voldemort in that entire film.
That is probably the most evilest character in the series.
Oh my. Also, I love watching, I love moments like where you get, like, you got Fred and George creating things just to piss off Umbridge. You have McGonagall going, like, just giving her shit about various things. I don't like the whole fact that Dumbledore is trying to distance himself from Harry, because that kind of interaction between him and Harry has always been a very strong thing, even throughout the entire series.
I think he does explain exactly why that's the case.
Oh no, he does at the very end when he's in the Gryffindor.
He does explain that.
Yeah, but apart from that, I mean, it's a really good moment. And once again, it's another one of those instances where Umbridge gets what the hell she deserves at the end, towards the end of that film.
Yeah, basically. But what
I will have order.
No, I do like how like basically she's when she's like taking control with all the decrees on the wall. I like how that scene, like each degree gets hanged on the wall, and then she's just like flicking her wand like just to make people do stuff, and the music's just playing out just to show how much of an asshole she is, Like, could you make me one small prediction for me?
Just one little thing. Oh, yes, I see it now. You are in grave danger.
Lovely. She's so evil.
She's so nonchalant about that.
Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, Professor Trelawney is not the highest of all the different professors out there. I prefer. Actually, my favorite is Professor McGonagall.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
I like her.
Yeah. Potter, Weasley, Granger.
Particularly, I love the why there's when something happens. It is always you three.
Believe me, Professor. I asked myself that for the last 5 or 6 years.
What year? Hold on.
It was the 6th. It was the 6th.
Was that the 6th movie?
Yeah, 6th movie. Half-Blood Prince.
Oh yes. That was after she got that girl got the necklace.
Yes. That was from Borchin and Burks.
See, this is how much of a nerd we are just for Harry Potter.
Like, in case
there's plenty of things coming up.
It was from Borchin and Burks.
Okay. No, it wasn't. Oh yes, it was. But
it was.
It also was given to her by
Jacob. It was by Malfoy. Like it was by well, actually, no. It was by someone that was under the Imperius curse. That was
Imperiatus curse.
Yeah.
No, but it was given to her by Draco.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, what was I going to say about the books? I was going to say something about it. I can't remember.
I will say, there's the Order of the Phoenix does have some of the best, like, some of the funniest comedy, I feel like, in that movie. Which is why I like it.
I think it needed that because it had this whole moment where you had this moment or where after Voldemort's back and he's causing actual mayhem. So you have these dark moments, but you have to have that little bit of levity just to kind of relax everybody. Because if you keep tension and suspense growing constantly, people are just not going to enjoy the film.
Yeah, and
that's where you get Fred and George in.
I'm trying to think what else I was going to say. So compared to like the books with Harry specifically, I like him more in the movies than in the book because in the book most of the time he's angry in the book. Have you noticed that?
He's angry a lot. He's angry a lot in the movies too.
Yeah, but no, like I feel like he's a lot more. He gets a lot more angry in the books. Like he doesn't like people telling him this or he's getting pushed away. Like he just like basically in the books, I feel like it's a bit more. He's a bit more frustrated with that. Like he gets a bit more frustrated in the books.
I just realized something. We didn't do clap sync at the beginning of this.
Yes, we did. I did a clap sync.
Well, we did some claps just to make sure my audio was picking up.
Okay, fine. Look, I'll do it again for you. There.
Yes.
Cut that out of the video.
I think it'll be fine anyway. I'll just have to sync the lips manually.
Okay.
Kind of a pain in the ass. Anyway, so we got Harry Potter. I mean, we agree Harry Potter is a fantastic, fantastic universe.
Yes.
Now,
as for the Fantastic Beasts films, the first one's pretty good. I don't like that. I don't give a shit about the second one.
I haven't seen any of the Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, the first one was like, it was good setting up the whole world. Like, again, like just adding new stuff to the wizard world of Harry Potter. But the second one, I don't really care all that much.
Is it just they try to do too much with it?
Yeah, like, well, some stuff just doesn't make any sense in the second one. It's not like a huge train wreck. It's just that there's some stuff that just doesn't make sense.
So when you need J.K. Rowling just going, no. He does this, and then this, and then this. You can't just go from here to here.
And what annoys me is that they also bring back, like, a lot of reference, like the Hogwarts Castle and other characters from the Harry Potter, which that just annoys me because I'm like, they're in this movie, but this movie is not perfect for them. Like, it's just for a bit of fan service, I feel like.
Yes. So we have Harry Potter. Let's move it on to let's pick another universe.
We're gonna move on to like something like Star Wars, I'm assuming, because
damn it, you knew exactly where I was going.
To enjoy ourselves with this one.
I want Star Wars now.
Do it.
I want it now. Now.
I want an Oompa Loompa now. That's what.
Oh God.
That's what it sounded like.
If you want to talk about it, you want to talk about someone who needed to be slapped. Veruca Salt, that entire freaking film.
Which one? Which
Veruca
Veruca Salt are we talking about? The old one or the new
one? No,
one?
the original. The original. Because actually, both of them. In all honesty.
Yeah, but like that's her whole character. Like, she's supposed to be like all, Well,
I know. Well, she's the embodiment of greed,
basically, and being spoiled.
No, you've heard that. Have you ever heard that theory about Willy Wonka?
Which one?
The kids in that movie represent certain deadly sins. So Augustus Gloop is the 7 deadly sins of humanity.
Oh, I think I might have heard of that at one point.
So yeah. Augustus Gloop is gluttony. Veruca Salt is greed. Violet Beauregard is pride, and Mike TV is sloth, I think.
Well, yeah, that could work. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, yeah.
But yeah, so that's the whole film theory. I don't even think it's a theory. I think that's actually was the point. And then Charlie Bucket's supposed to be the person who's actually like the balance of all those.
Yeah, well, like,
he wants stuff, but he doesn't want it.
You know what's weird with the like when you compare like the original to the Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is that it's the original one that is focused on Charlie, while the new one is actually more focused on Willy Wonka.
And the names are reversed.
Yeah, and the names are reversed. That's always weird to me. But I do think the original one is probably the best. I don't know. It's the one I like more.
Yes, even then with the kind of weird, kind of melodramatic song in the middle of it.
In the musical, fair enough.
Yeah, but one thing I don't know for sure is which one actually follows the books more truthfully. Or the book more truthfully.
Hard to tell. Well, I mean,
I'd have to guess Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I haven't read the book in a while. I have read it, but I don't. It's been a while.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we just started talking about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate. We're supposed to be talking about Star Wars.
That's part of a universe.
Star Wars.
It's its own universe.
Well, it's its own pseudo universe. Unless does Tim Burton have like this, like some sort of conjoined universe like Disney Pixar or anything like that?
I mean, I don't know. He's been with some Batman. If that's Warner Brothers, so.
Well, I'm saying just you see it also with the Alien franchise is that it's actually part of a conjoined universe, but that's something completely different. Star Wars, damn it!
We're just gonna move on to Star Wars. We'll talk about anything else afterwards. But this is the one we love. We love to give.
Actually,
we love to make fun of
Star Wars more than Harry Potter. Well, there's plenty to make fun of. I mean, the entire prequel trilogy, some very big things in the sequel trilogy,
yeah,
and then George Lucas for the originals.
Yes.
Namely Episode 4.
Where do you want to begin? I'll let you pick.
Well, where do we actually want to begin this series?
Do we want to start from the beginning, or do we want to start from quote the beginning?
Which beginning do we want? Now let's work through them. Let's run through them by their episodes.
Okay.
So we have Phantom Menace.
Okay, well, what can we say about Phantom Menace? Okay, I can say a few things about Phantom Menace. I mean, like, I think everybody loves John Williams' music.
Duel of Fates. Oh, that is a fantastic score.
Actually, I think Duel of Fates is probably one of the best songs in the Star Wars series. Like, one of them. Apart
from, it's right up there with the Imperial March. It's right up there with the main theme.
I do think Battle of the Heroes is a nice. It's a nice like climax music, like the Battle of the Heroes, where they're Obi-Wan versus Anakin. Like that, you know the one.
Oh, is that during episode
it's during
3?
the battle on Mustafar, yeah. You don't remember?
Oh, okay, yes. I know what you're talking about. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that one. That's a good piece.
Yeah.
No, but so yeah, Duel of Fates is a great thing. I think visually, especially given what they're working with at the time, because all of Phantom Menace is actually rendered at 1080p.
Oh, okay. At its time, that would have been pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, for 1998, that wasn't bad, but nowadays, not when we're up to 4K. That's why all the CGI and whatnot kind of looks like shit.
Yeah, it doesn't age
being
well.
Expanded so much. The CGI did not age well for that entire movie. Like, was the whole battle between the droids and the Gungans?
Oh, yeah.
That does not look good
weird
anymore.
Yeah.
Actually, but one thing is, did you know that actually for a lot of movie shots where where there's a lot of action, they actually have to undercrank the camera, or is it overcrank? Undercrank the camera so they can speed it up to make it look more dynamic. The whole fight scene between Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul, they actually had to overcrank the camera and slow it down because it looked too good. Like they thought nobody's going to believe that this is actually them doing it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Especially that whole end bit between Obi-Wan and Maul, where they're after Qui-Gon's been stabbed in the gut.
Yeah.
That's actually, that it actually slowed down the footage just to make it look more believable.
Oh, okay.
Which makes me now want to actually see the real version. Yeah, because they're doing it so quickly and it's so clean. Which that entire fight scene is such a great thing, especially with the doors open and there's just Maul waiting for them.
Well, everyone likes Darth Maul. In fact, everyone liked him so much that they brought him back. Like that. You're like, how did he survive? Because the fans wanted him back. Like, that's the only reason he's back.
Why did he survive? Because there was money to be made.
Yes.
Actually, it's a great disservice to that's actually the biggest problem they had with both the sequel trilogies and the prequel trilogies, is that they kept changing the bad guy.
Yeah, no, except here's the thing. With the prequels, for example, it's still trying. They were still keeping they weren't midway through. They're like, okay, let's just change the story up because it's not working. I feel like it was already planned out of how George wanted the story.
Oh yeah, it was totally planned out. But it's like, okay, so the first one you have Darth Maul, great character, super scary, especially with the horns and the yellow eyes and all that stuff. He had an impact to viewers, especially the first time I watched the prequel series, equivalent to Darth Vader walking on, or showing how much of an asshole or of a badass he is in that point.
Yes.
And then they just kill him off and insert some senile old man.
Yeah, but Christopher Lee's always good. Like, he is always.
But you get my point. Would you be more afraid of Maul, or would you be more afraid of Count Dooku?
I'll be more afraid of Darth Maul because I don't know. I just feel
he wields dual-bladed lightsabers,
which is pretty sick.
Or lightsaber. It's fucking awesome.
It's also can you also agree that it's also pretty sick? Just saying, even though it's a bit silly, but General Grievous just having 4 lightsabers, and he doesn't know the Force. He just knows how to do lightsaber battles.
Well, also he's completely he's droid botted up just so he can actually swing them at the right, like a Jedi. That really kind of just gives it all to what's the difference between a Jedi and a regular person?
Yeah.
How much work Grievous needed. But we're not to Grievous yet. We have Phantom Menace, good film. Oh, we didn't talk about the biggest elephant in the fucking movie.
I thought you wanted to avoid him. What's wrong with Jar Jar Binks? Everything, I think a lot of people
He was only done for comic relief, and
it didn't work out. It's basically, it's like this. It's like having a Chewbacca, but it's having the wrong type of Chewbacca. Basically.
No, it wasn't even Chewbacca. They were trying to make Jar Jar Binks the C-3PO.
Oh, yeah. So.
That kind of...
Wait, he's no C-3PO.
No, he isn't. Because, actually, the greatest thing I ever heard is the difference between K2SO from Rogue One and C-3PO.
Oh, yep.
C-3PO will tell you the odds because he has anxiety. K2SO will give you the odds because he's an asshole. This is really, you have no chances. But anyway, so yeah, the best thing they did for the entirety of the prequel series with Jar Jar Binks is they made him talk less.
Well, yes, like each movie he gets forgotten.
He doesn't say anything in Revenge of the Sith.
No.
He doesn't have a single line. All they do is have him walk into the funeral procession and a little bit at when the Chancellor comes back. That's all he gets.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like, fuck yeah. Okay, so we got Phantom Menace out of the way. Attack of the Clones.
Okay, so Attack of the Clones.
Controversially, one of the worst ones.
It's the worst one, definitely. Like, it's mostly boring. That's why.
Yeah, 2 and 1 are almost even pegged for the worst Star Wars films for me.
If I had to pick between Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones, I'm picking Phantom Menace. Like, I'm so sorry to people. No, I'm just saying that now.
I don't know. I want to say that Attack of the Clones might be a little bit better.
I will watch Attack of the Clones from when they get to the Colosseum, and then onward. That's it.
Oh, you mean before all the lovey-dovey stupid love story between Anakin and Padme?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, we're skipping all that.
Fair enough. It's like watching
just get to the Coliseum. That's it.
It's like watching Titanic. You skip all the love scenes between Jack and Rose. You get right to the shipwreck.
Yes, that's how it works.
Okay, I can see where you're coming for that. The problem I had, the biggest problem between Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace is Phantom Menace had all this crap about intergalactic politics and whatnot. It's like,
it's adult
it got
stuff.
So hard after a while.
That's why, and children will not understand. They just like the lightsaber stuff. That's why they say I love the prequels. Why? Because it has cool lightsaber powers. I don't give
much
a shit
better than
about
the
that. We have no idea.
All
the rest is about basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't care about all this policy or politics and whatnot. We want to see shit fly through the air. We want to see laser swords. That's what we want. And that's where the second half of Attack of the Clones really comes into its own.
Yes. So, what do you want to start with it? I don't know what to say. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say about Attack of the Clones. So, if you want to say something, go ahead. There was a movie
where a clones attacked one thing and then that was it. Actually, it does have one of the best, the most anticipated things I ever saw. When I first saw the trailer for Attack of the Clones, I nearly wet myself when I saw Yoda walk up there and pull out his fucking lightsaber.
Was that in the trailer?
That was in the trailer. At least in America, it was.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't remember. I haven't seen the trailer because, like, why would I need to look up a trailer at the time when I don't know how old I was at the time. But, like, okay, so that's, like, a cool scene for, like, a minute of the movie.
Well, I'm talking about the whole lightsaber battle between Dooku, Obi-Wan, and Anakin.
Yeah. Then
you have Anakin and Dooku, and then you have Yoda and Dooku.
It's pretty cool.
All of them are fucking awesome at the end.
Yeah.
But and then we have Mace motherfucking Windu chopping off Jango Fett's freaking head.
Yes. They do nothing with Boba Fett. Like Boba Fett's once just here.
Great character. Throw him away.
Yeah, like how many times are they gonna do that to Boba Fett? Like you don't do he's not really done much in the past, but that's why people just like him because he does just I don't know.
Wait, are we talking about Boba Fett or Jango Fett?
No, Boba Fett. I'm talking about Boba Fett.
Yeah, that's the original series. We're not there yet.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about that later.
It's over there.
But yeah, I mean, like, I don't understand. Like, you have Jango Fett and you have Boba Fett, but they're just there. Not really much development in them. Like, even
I agree. Okay, so and then we have Revenge of the Sith.
One more thing I just want to say.
Yes.
It's like you would think what was it? Boba Fett's like what was it? What would Boba Fett do after the fact that Jango Fett, his father just died, got killed by a Jedi?
Yeah, but we see that in the Clone Wars.
You see, yeah, well, okay, I actually true.
They give him
a bit more in the Clone Wars. I will say that.
Which I love that little run with Boba in the Clone Wars. You actually see what watching Mace Windu chop off his father's head.
Yeah,
actually
it does
to him.
transpire pretty well in the Clone Wars, which is what they should have done, because the movie's just like, okay, we have Boba Fett, his father's dead, we will see you at Empire. Or a cameo in the special edition of A New Hope. he was there. Okay, you know the scene where Han Solo and Jabba the Hutt are at in A New Hope?
You're right at the hangar.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's pretty much all we have for Attack of the Clones. Let's move through Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, excellent.
Which, let's be very clear, Revenge of the Sith, I don't think was a good movie or storyline, but it had great moments because of the storyline.
Yes, like it's just so entertaining.
Oh my God, I want to know who wrote the dialogue for that movie. Who the hell did?
Like, what is going on through their mind? Just like, this is how you make like just some like you have this big setup to have Anakin turn to the dark side. This is how we're setting it up. Oh.
Well, with like the most obvious is like, and the Jedi don't.
No. Creepy head turn, just like.
What did they say in the Honest trailer? It's like, who would have thought the guy that does 4 creepy head turns in one scene could be the bad guy?
Not me. Who?
No.
What? You ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? No. I thought
it's
not.
A Sith legend.
It's not something the Jedi would tell you. What and why? How do you know this? Are you a Sith Lord? It's so obvious. Like, there's so many. No. Okay, move back one scene from Phantom Menace, where there's like two that are no more, no less, a master and an apprentice. But which one was destroyed, the master and apprentice? And then the camera just slowly turns to Palpatine, and it's just like you're advertising it.
The entire prequel series would have been better if we didn't know.
Yeah, okay. If we did not know Palpatine was the bad guy until the where they reveal that he's basically the Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yeah, right at the moment when Anakin realizes it, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, because here's the thing. You make it seem like he's a very noble person. Like he's in the right heart. You think that, but
yes.
And then when you get to you get to Revenge of the Sith, because they're trying to rescue the Palpatine at Revenge of the Sith, and then once you get to the part where it's like, I am the Sith Lord, that would have been a very cool reveal. But it's just like, nope, you don't bother hiding it. Like he's hiding the fact that he's the Sith Lord, but he doesn't try and hide the fact that, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been absolutely perfect to watch him do all the stuff from the background of all 3 movies, and then right as Anakin goes, just in that whole scene where they're discussing, like, is like, of the dark side?
If one must study all of it, the whole mystery, they must study all of its aspects, not just some narrow view of the Jedi.
The dogmatic view.
That's like something like that. It's just like... And he just reveals him, like, he's just letting it out, like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm the Sith Lord. I just want to make that clear.
Well, at that point, he figured he had groomed Anakin enough to where he was just this, like, a domino effect.
Yeah, it's like, I think I've told you everything you need to know to come to the dark side. I'm the Sith Lord.
Hello, I'm the Sith Lord.
Hello.
But that being said, it may have one of the weakest storylines of the Star Wars series.
Yeah,
and let's be honest, it does.
Tiny. Like, okay, if this was supposed to be the story of how Anakin became the most evilest man in the universe, the most dangerous person that everyone is afraid of, you're not doing it right. Like, I see how you're trying to do it, but you're not doing it right, basically. Like, I can see it, but I don't also think, like, this is not something that is set up to be, like, who he is as Darth Vader.
Actually, there is a great series you should look up on YouTube. It starts with what if Episode 1 was actually good?
Yeah, I think heard those videos.
Have you seen the whole prequels?
I've heard the first one, how the first one works.
Yeah, go ahead, watch through them through the they did all 3 of the prequels, and the story they came up with for the prequels is so much better than what was actually done. I wish they would have made that.
They should have Alderaan as Naboo. That's what they should have done in the prequels, like, because it's basically the same almost. Like,
no. Alderaan's more mountainous. Naboo's more lake country.
Well, yeah, but still, you know what I mean. Like, if that was like,
yeah. But my point being with as far as what they did, I wish they would have done that so much better. Dooku is the main bad guy starting all the way at the beginning. You have, this whole thing between Anakin and Obi-Wan that actually then turns sour, and that's actually what starts pushing Anakin away. It's so much better.
I also think it would have been a lot more interesting if they did this well with like the relationship between Anakin and Palpatine. Like, I feel like it would just have like Palpatine slowly like basically they're very close. Like, they're this time become very close friends basically. And that way you understand why, like, basically Anakin, why he's taking Palpatine's side. Is just like, instead of like, just like, oh, I have the power to save the ones you love, mate.
I have the power to save the ones you love. Or just have the entire part also, voiced by Kermit.
Who the fuck? Like, okay, so he just like every scene he's in Revenge of the Sith. Every scene he's sitting in a throne chair. From like Return of the Jedi, and he slowly turns around, just like, Master Windu. Like, it's like it wasn't.
I'm not the bad guy. You're the bad guy.
I must say, you're here sooner than expected.
Yeah, but it's just like, oh my god. But yeah, I mean, and then it has probably one of the best lightsaber fights ever in Star Wars. Between Obi-Wan and Anakin, and the fight between Yoda and Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
Those both fights alone are just great. Great part in cinematography, and then just great just because of the fight themselves.
Yes.
Except for the really stupid stuff at the end. I should have known the Jedi were plotting to take over.
Well, here's the thing. It's the direction. I feel like with Hayden Christensen, like,
you mean
there's
no?
So
with
many
Hay don't act again.
Like, he's not yelling. He's basically whining. That's not yelling. That's what. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Well, it's much better than him going, I hate sand.
Oh,
it gets everywhere.
It's supposed to be like a touching moment. It's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Nobody gives a shit.
Nobody gives 2 shits.
In fact, actually, I was gonna say a joke, but we'll wait.
Unfortunately,
joke.
I mean, even with all the great cinematography, the episode 3 left Star Wars in somewhat of a low point as far as where people wanted the movies to be, because everybody was bashing the prequels for a long time.
Yes,
and I think the biggest thing is when they started hearing, okay, they're going to make new Star Wars films. They're like, okay, what kind of Star Wars films are we going to get? Are we going to get original series quality, or are we going to get prequel series quality?
We basically
and unfortunately,
have
they got a third category, which is kind of somewhere in between.
It's basically how another version of the original trilogy, basically.
Yes. But some of the best things we actually got was things like Rogue One. Yes. Which Rogue One in and of itself is I love Rogue One.
Rogue One, it was a good movie of how it was like setting up for New Hope, like, because that's, yeah.
Well, what it did so much fan service. It was actually beautiful.
Yeah.
In the fact that you have,
there was also fan service where it was necessary at the time.
Yes. And because you have, hey, we got the plans for the Death Star. Now, this is how they get the plans. But the other thing is, like, take my dad, for example. My dad, with a burning passion, hates the prequel trilogy. He will not watch any of the prequel. Even episode 3, won't touch it. So, for those people that absolutely hate it, Rogue One is a perfect starting point, if you want to use it as such. But it's also a perfect bridge between 3 and 4.
Also helps giving us different, like, a perspective of how the Empire is ruling over the galaxy, basically.
Yes, the only other problem is that we pretty much know that every main character in that film is going to die. Well, because
you knew something was going to happen because they're not mentioned in the, like,
at all.
But they did have one of the greatest Darth Vader moments in that movie at the very end.
Yes, which was then immediately preceded by, then followed by Episode 4 with Ben Kenobi and Obi-Wan. Yeah.
No, because I'm saying that scene was basically that was felt like that was like pure Darth Vader moment right there, where you're like, this is the most dangerous man in the galaxy.
What big dark hallway? All of a sudden we just hear.
Yeah, no, that's how you set up Darth Vader. Right? That's how you do it.
It was, like I said, it was done to make Darth Vader, make everybody understand immediately, this dude is bad to the fucking bone.
Yes.
And also then sets up the redemption arc.
Yeah.
For Darth Vader. You have the ultimate low going into the redemption.
There were a lot of like different opinions with the Solo movie, if you know what I mean.
I like the Solo movie. I think, once again, visually it was beautiful. But anything done nowadays is visually beautiful.
No, it's not visually beautiful because it's very. A lot of the scenery is like all dark, like it's most of the time. No, like but smoke and dark.
I love the shots when they're flying through the nebula.
Yeah, but isn't that the? Oh yeah.
With the Kessel Run.
Yeah, the Kessel Run. Yep.
And the fact, but one thing they had to, you know what they had to do with the Kessel Run to dig them out of a hole that they put them in A New Hope.
Yes.
Is the parsecs.
Oh, yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know anything about astronomy, a parsec is a unit of distance, not a measurement of time. Kind of like a light year is a distance.
Also, what was it? Lando Calrissian in the Solo movie was pretty good.
How many capes does he have?
No, that helps us to show us how the relationship between Han and Lando are. Like, because I can totally see this. Like they're playing poker or something at a casino.
Yes. But the other thing I don't like the fact that they had to fill in all these little bits of, movie trivia that they spout out, or they have to show every little time something like the Millennium Falcon. Like, I don't know where your ship learned how to communicate, but it has the most peculiar dialect, and that was K3.
I did think the robot in Solo had it's the only one that I felt like had the most sense in any robot I've seen in Star Wars.
She was the most like enlightened.
Yeah, it's just like redemption.
Actually, I have to say, one thing I love about Star Wars in general is the fact that it can make you love a little a robot, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Because I love K2SO. I love R2-D2. I love C-3PO. I love K3L. K3L what?
K3L. Whatever his name is. I forget his name.
K3. I love.
Can't forget the code name.
It was a girl.
Oh.
K3 was a girl. And you say you're a Star Wars. Anyway, so
I've only watched the Star Wars movie on the Solo movie once, by the way.
So we could talk about the original series, but we're kind of going long-winded just on movies alone now.
This one we'll bring the original trilogy into just one, since they will basically transpire normally.
Yes, we have the stupid lightsaber fight inside A New Hope, which, let's be honest, that was the worst lightsaber fight.
Well, it was the first lightsaber one, so I won't give it too much credit for it. Like, it's.
Well, you know why they would look like they were moving so they were barely doing anything, right?
Not exactly. Why?
Because the way they were doing the lightsabers for the first movie, because nobody had done a lightsaber yet. They don't know how to do a lightsaber.
Yeah.
So they had they had the handle of the lightsaber and a spinning tube with reflective tape on it.
Oh, okay.
So that when you moved, you could when they were doing the rotoscoping for the actual lightsaber effect, they could see where the actual blade was. But that caused them to be very fragile. So if they hit the lightsabers too hard, they broke.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's why it's always looks so weird.
Now you've mentioned before dozens of times about New Hope how you say,
Luke is a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, Luke is a whiny little bitch.
Why? I was gonna go into Tashi Station to pick up some power converters.
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's like the only issue. I feel like
they're gonna kill her.
It's the only issue you have with A New Hope, I feel like.
No, it is that, and I don't like. One thing I don't like about New Hope, especially the modern version of A New Hope, is what George Lucas has done to it.
Like, well, it's
all the changes.
It's been tainted a lot.
It's been tainted so much. It really hurts for it.
Yeah, I understand.
I had the privilege years ago to watch A New Hope on Laserdisc.
Oh my god!
The great big 30, record size
Yes.
DVD. But it was basically untouched. There was a little bit of change that they
just continue. I'll let you finish.
It was pretty much untouched from the original, apart from they had already added in episode 4, and they'd already tacked on A New Hope to the credits crawl. Apart from that, all are pretty much original. Han Solo does shoot first. Good. Which is fantastic.
You can still buy the shirt now.
Yeah, it doesn't have Obi-Wan making stupid noises, sounding like some weird demon from hell.
Yeah, what the fuck? Okay, if I had to pick one special edition, it would have to be 2004. I feel like.
Oh, the DVDs?
Yeah, of the DVDs. If I had to pick a special edition, it's not like, because it's showing stuff that aren't the best, but it's not overdoing it like the 2011 ones have done.
Yes, I would agree. The one thing I don't like in 2004's edition is how much they actually make Han Solo's head move when Greedo shoots.
Yeah. But
it looks so unnatural. It's like...
Yeah, it's weird. But I'm saying, there's a few original stuff that they have changed it. So I'm thankful that they haven't. So I'm keeping it with 2004 because 2011's...
adding all the stupid things walking in front of Obi-Wan.
Well, I think that's in the 2004. That...
It was in it, but it wasn't as bad.
It's unneeded, definitely.
But watching the original movie in its original format, such a better film. Yeah. It doesn't have that weird thing where where Han's talking to Jabba. Yeah, it doesn't. Well,
you didn't. Okay, first of all, I don't think you shouldn't have added that scene because it's sort of.
It was unnecessary.
It removes all the mystery to Jabba the Hutt, basically.
Yeah, basically. But like I said, it just ruins the flow of, here's this weird dude in a gas mask who's informing the stormtroopers that, hey, there's the guys you're looking for.
Yeah. Also,
these are the droids you're looking for.
One thing I will say about special editions is the ending song for Return of the Jedi it's nice. It's a nice edition, I feel like.
And then they put in Hayden Christensen.
Okay, why? I don't understand why. Okay, here's the thing. You don't have Ewan McGregor there. You have Hayden Christensen there.
You have Alec Guinness.
Yeah, you have Alec Guinness, not Ewan McGregor. Why? Why stop there? Why not add Mace Windu or Qui-Gon? No.
Yeah, that would have been actually the worst thing if they started putting all the other Force... I'm Hayden Christensen.
Why? Don't know why they did that.
I remember, actually, this is somewhat embarrassing because this is before I actually had an understanding that you could edit a movie after it was made.
Yeah.
I actually thought, because the first time I'd actually
I know where you're going with this.
A New Hope, it had Hayden Christensen in it. Or watched Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
I actually thought that when they did the prequel series, they found someone that looked like the guy. I'm like, oh.
I mean, I just assumed, when the movie came, I'm just, assumed in oh, wow, they got him before, they did Attack of the Clones. That's what I thought they did.
No, because I knew that this movie was 30 years old.
Yeah,
I knew it was an old
I know what
film.
You mean.
So I was like, wow, they got a guy that looks just like Hayden Christensen.
They changed the voice for Boba Fett in Empire Strikes Back to make it sound like
that. Doesn't,
because I understand
that doesn't
why.
bother me.
Well, yeah,
that does not bother me whatsoever.
It doesn't bother me, and I understand why, because he's basically a clone of Jango Fett. So that makes perfect sense.
That, and also, he's the template for all the clone troopers.
Yeah.
So, perfectly fine. I have no issues with that. Some people, they think, oh no, it's terrible. I don't know why they had to change the voice, but
yeah, there's some things there's some things I think special editions where I think they're good. When they add stuff is good, but when they have to change stuff, I feel like you don't need to do that.
Well, the other thing they do for the special editions, of course, is they clean up the footage.
Yeah,
make it
that's
look
what I like. I like it when they clean up the
fantastic.
footage. I like that. That's
the only problem is you do get certain artifacts that actually appear because of the cleaning. Was it the latest, the 2011 version when they showed the Death Star moving into orbit around Alderaan? You can actually see where they cut the Death Star into the film.
Yeah.
So it looks kind of weird, but you know what? I'm not going to get too picky about that.
Yeah, fair enough. Let me think. What? I think there's not much else
about the original series.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, this is something I didn't realize at the time until after I watched Rise of Skywalker, is the fact that You never actually see anyone use the Force to move stuff until Empire Strikes Back. So when Luke is in the cave and he's using the lightsaber, he's forcing the lightsaber into his hand when he's like basically upside down.
You're right.
Like,
that was the first time he actually.
I never thought about that before until after Rise of Skywalker, and I'm just like,
the first time they used the actual.
And when I think about that, I'm like, actually, that makes the scene much more better now. Now that I know that.
Actually, on the subject, we are going to move into the sequel trilogy now. So if you haven't seen this, there may be some spoilers coming up.
Yes, well,
fair warning, especially because when we talk about Rise of Skywalker. There may be some spoilers if you haven't seen the movie yet. So just heads up, you've been warned.
You've been warned.
Anyway, so probably the most polarizing series of Star Wars is the sequel trilogy.
Like it's the
it's just love it,
so
people that hate
disappointing.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done a lot more with it, and
it had potential. It had potential with Force Awakens, like when it was setting up stuff. It was setting up stuff so well, and then like as the movies continued on, they've just been thrown out the window, and that annoyed me.
Yes, I mean, unfortunately, it's really unfortunate that it's like once again you have this great bad guy, we'll throw him away.
Yeah, okay.
As in Snoke.
Like Snoke, I felt like theories have also made it much more engaging. Just like
Did you hear
is
the theory
Snoke?
that he was Mace Windu?
Yes, I saw that theory.
I heard that one. It was just like I don't see that being Mace Windu.
No, I don't see either.
But
I
like
the theory. But like that's what annoys me is that you're setting up these theories of Snoke, and I was like interested to see what they're gonna do with Snoke, and then they kill him off. Like he was in a stupid way too. They killed him off.
Actually, I'll say, that was really stupid. He ignites the lightsaber. Yeah, actually, but one thing I pegged right at the beginning, which they confirmed for me.
Yep.
In Rise of Skywalker, when Kylo Ren's talking to grandfather.
Yes.
Which everybody assumed was Darth Vader. I knew that wasn't Darth Vader talking to him. That was not Anakin talking.
But
I knew it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so with the one thing that the sequel trilogy I thought was building up a lot better as the movies continue were the relationship they had with Rey and Kylo Ren. Like I thought that was doing pretty well when they got to Last Jedi. Like when they did that movie, I thought it was pretty well. It was a bit mixed in Rise of Skywalker. Like it was like it didn't know where I wanted to go after that. But like I thought it was doing pretty well with it once they got to Last Jedi.
I was okay with it in Last Jedi, although it felt very much like the Return of the Jedi, with between Luke and Darth Vader. With some of those, like the conversation in the Rebel base or in the Empire base.
I know what you mean.
It felt very much like that, but a little bit deeper. The one thing I don't like about it, and this is coming directly from Rise of Skywalker, is pulling shit out of thin fucking air.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I know what you're bringing up.
Bullshit.
Say it. Just say it. Well, I know what it is. Just say it.
It's like, Meta, would you like a Diet Pepsi? Here you go.
Okay. Yeah.
That was the dumbest thing in the world.
With the Force, you can just take stuff from across the universe. It's like, look what I found. A candy bar. You can basically
I found
do
a
that.
necklace.
I know, it's weird. I don't like.
That was the dumbest thing in the world.
Also, Obi-Wan was a dumbass in Phantom Menace. He could have just used the Force to heal Qui-Gon when he was on the ground. He could have just done that.
He didn't learn that skill. He didn't.
No. Oh, well, Qui-Gon should have learned him that then.
Not to mention, if you remember... If you remember, Obi-Wan also had issues with the living Force.
Oh, of course. It's the midichlorians. That's basically...
No. We don't talk about those. Those don't exist. That's why I didn't mention
life.
They're evil.
I know they're evil.
But the whole Force heal thing, the Force heal had been... the first time I ever saw Force heal was the video game version of Revenge of the Sith.
But
you could actually use Force heal. Which actually, I mean... That seems like a logical thing. You could use the Force to help to heal yourself. The
first time I saw it was in Mandalorian, I think is when I first saw it. But I don't know.
With the child.
The child, of course. Don't you mention Baby Yoda because Jon Favreau, he'll be pissed at you if you say that.
But he is Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
He's an adorable baby Yoda. You can't get wrong with it.
And you have memes.
Yeah, yes.
The best memes.
Which actually, that brings us, and we can move on to our next topic, which is TV series.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yes!
Best thing about Star Wars, this is basically a Star Wars universe we're talking about here. It doesn't matter, because we love Star Wars, and we're going to talk about. So yeah, the TV series of Star Wars, I think, is what Disney does for the best for Star Wars, I feel like.
The sad thing is, I think the TV series for Star Wars, whether it's Clone Wars, I haven't seen Rebels or Resistance, so I have no idea anything. I know nothing about those. But the Clone Wars and Mandalorian, in some ways, they're a lot more consistently good than, say, the movies.
Which is saying something, because I feel like
Suck it, George Lucas.
I feel like they try way too hard with
Clone
the
Wars
movies.
is written by Lucas,
like they just try way too hard to be trying to get out of the comfort zone, and then just like they have
Ooh, camera.
Yeah, that's all that.
There.
Yeah, like the TV series, I feel like, especially with Clone Wars, I feel like they do a pretty good job with fixing stuff with, like, say, the Jedi, basically, I feel like. True,
but the other thing I think the reason why the Clone Wars or even the Mandalorian do much better in their consistency is the fact that they have a lot more time frame to tell what story they want. The problem they had with anytime you do a movie of anything is you have to take all this substance, all this plot, all this development, and squeeze it into an hour and a half. In some formats, it just doesn't work. Star Wars, unfortunately, I don't think really works in an hour and a half format to do this big character development. Take Han Solo, for example. Han Solo changed completely in 3 different films.
Yeah.
Basically the pirates, the anti-hero, and then actually the hero.
Yeah.
You're just agreeing with me at this point.
No. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean about Han Solo. Like he's basically he's the smuggler, and he just wants to get paid. That's in The New Hope, but then he slowly becomes a decent character. He's improving as a character. A lot of people like Han Solo because he was a smuggler. That's why a lot of people liked him. That's basically.
Well, also he kind of a hard ass. He had his own way of doing things, and he didn't like being told he couldn't do things his way.
Yeah.
But
no rewarders were worth this.
Actually, that was the one thing that Adam Savage, who was a host of the show Mythbusters, I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I've heard Mythbusters. Yeah. I know. I heard them.
Yeah, in one of his own podcasts, he actually mentions the reason why A New Hope is so good in the people's eye is because you actually have somebody making fun of the movie as it goes.
Yeah. Okay.
Hokey superstitions and ancient weapons are no replacement for a good blaster on your side. And
you don't believe in the Force, do you?
Kid, I've seen a lot of things, but I haven't seen anything that had convinced me that there's an all-powerful Force binding everything together. He was making fun of the movie the entire time.
Like how the whole Jedi Council thing is basically... It's like a myth, basically. Nobody knows about the Jedi anymore.
What would Han Solo do about the Jedi, or say about the Jedi Council?
I don't know. Basically what you just said.
He would make fun of it. A bunch of old farts.
Yeah, but that's just what I like about how, like, just after the prequels, the Jedi are like myths now. Like, nobody really knows about them.
You gotta figure the Empire completely either suppressed or destroyed all record of the Jedi.
Yeah, but it's only been, like 30 years?
20 years or so.
Yeah, but like it's still, you can't get rid of them that early, I feel like. I don't know, it's just, but I like the idea.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're into the whole television section. I don't know how much alternate universe stuff we've actually collectively watched at the same time.
I haven't seen the Clone Wars in ages. I have not seen Rebels.
Well, not just Star Wars. I'm talking about TV in general.
Oh,
the great universes for that. What about? Oh, let's talk about DC.
DC TV shows, because I haven't watched a lot of DC TV shows.
What about like the animated Batman series?
Okay, I'm not much of that.
No, you haven't. Oh, wow.
I'm trying to think. Okay, I have watched a bit of the Spider-Man the animated series. I have watched a bit of that.
Seen it. I haven't seen a darn thing of it. This has been the television series of this podcast. Apparently, all we've watched is Star Wars.
We're great. So, okay, let me think of something.
What about Doctor Who? Have you watched Doctor Who?
Oh, a small amount of Doctor Who. But I know
then you haven't watched Doctor Who.
We basically we need okay.
I didn't go through this properly when I was coming up with this podcast.
But with TV shows, I mean, there were a few TV shows I've seen 3 seasons of The Walking Dead and just stopped after because I didn't give a shit about.
Which were the probably the best part of The Walking Dead?
Yeah, because like it after that it just gets sort of ridiculous after that point.
Actually, hold on. What were the first 3 seasons? First 3 seasons were Herschel the farmhouse. Second season was a prison. Third season
the second season was a farm, and then the third season was a prison.
What was the first season?
Basic. Not really much.
No,
in the first season.
They got to Herschel's farm in the first season. I know that.
No, that was in the second
season.
You had that
whole thing. No, that was first season because the first season had the whole dynamic.
You want to look that up and find that out because I'm pretty sure it was the second season.
I'm pretty sure it was first season because you had the whole thing between Shane and Rick's wife and Rick, and that was all the first season. Then you had the entire invasion of Herschel's farm, and then they were on the run. Then they got to the prison for the second season.
Yes. Well, they got to the... Okay, so, no, they showcase the prison at the end of the second season. They get to the prison at the third season.
That's it. I'm doing this. We're settling this right now.
He's looking this up, guys. He has... I put him in a back seat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna make you guys wait.
They get to the farm in season 2, and they get to the prison in season 3. Well, I'm gonna be right. I swear to God, I'm gonna get right.
Here comes the recap, ladies and gentlemen. Except now it wants me to subscribe to Games Radar.
No. Not on this podcast. You can do that later.
Wait, get never. The hell. Oh my God, you fucking assholes.
We'll be back after these short messages, man, until he finds the page.
No, I got it now. Okay, so first season, Rick Grimes wakes from coma, discovering around the zombies. Oh, wait, hold on. Am I completely wrong on this? You are right. I'm wrong.
Fire!
Okay. How long was season 1 then? Oh, that's why. That's why I'm thinking it was the same thing. Season 1 was a short season. There was only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
In the first season. That's why it ended at the CDC.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Fair enough. I remember the CDC with the.
Where it blew up. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they have Herschel's Farm season 2, Prison season 3. 4 was the Governor.
The Governor. I mean, that one was fun. But I don't feel like you should go anywhere past that. Once you get past that, just don't.
No. I know exactly where you should end is. I will admit that the Governor attack is the high point of the series.
Yes.
Where you can actually end it though is. Did you ever watch? You didn't watch season 5 at all.
I watched a little bit of season 5.
So with Terminus and whatnot.
Yes.
Terminus was fine. It actually had some really like great moments, especially. Do you mind if I spoil this for you?
It doesn't matter. Like,
do you remember the character Bob?
I've heard the
kind of a weasel.
Bob. Which one was he? Like,
it's gonna be really bad, and I'm sorry. This is the best way I can describe. He was a black guy, short hair, had a thing for what's her name?
I think I do know this guy.
Oh, it's been forever since
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, where he gets bitten and he starts concealing it. And then, like later in the same episode, he gets captured by the cannibals, and they cut off his leg and start eating it. And he starts like while he's watching them eat his leg, he starts laughing. They're wondering why his leg's like, and he pulls down his shirt. He's like, "Tainted meat!"
Oh my God!
Oh, that's fucking great. Yep. They're like all freaking out. That was one of my favorite parts of that with the Terminus thing.
Oh my God, that is dark as well. Like, there's a lot of thing in Walking Dead that is.
The cannibals was a creepy thing, but what I also like about it was that's a logical point to get to after the end of the world. Yeah, is cannibalism.
I've seen the bit where like I think the bit where I stopped at is after they escape from that place.
Okay. Well, after that they go to a town called Alexandria, which is like this weird township.
I've heard of Alexandria, but I've never gone past that point.
Yes, it should have ended at Alexandria. So I don't know if you ever watched the final episode inside Alexandria where the zombie horde breaks in, everybody gets surrounded. Carl gets shot in the face.
Well, basically, I've seen how Carl has like one eye, basically wears an eye patch. You know what annoys me? They kill off so many characters. Each time they get a season, more main characters get killed off. And then by the end of it, there's only basically Daryl and who else?
Daryl's left, Rick's left, Michonne's left.
Yeah.
Carl's dead.
I like how with Rick specifically, he's not dead, but he hasn't shown up after he basically did survive the bridge attack, from what I know.
Yeah, I don't know. See, at that point, after Alexandria, I stopped watching.
Yeah, well, basically,
I saw enough to watch Negan completely bashing Glenn's face.
He did stop at that point, but like they didn't kill the character off, but he's just not there anymore.
Yeah, but it's just like after that, it went off the rails, and actually, as my dad likes to say,
I just get annoyed by that because I'm just like, you killing off so many characters, it's becoming not that interesting now. Like,
my dad still watches it too.
Also, they have whispers now. Who the fuck are these guys, and why are they here? What about the zombies? Like,
do you know who the Whispers are?
I don't know because I didn't give a shit. I didn't bother looking them up.
Okay, so I know a little bit about this. The Whispers are basically the people that are surviving the zombie apocalypse by impersonating zombies.
Oh, okay.
They actually are wearing the flesh of the zombie horde.
Oh, so it's like a... okay.
Yeah. And they talk to each other by whispering, because if they talk loudly, the zombies will know.
Ah, okay. I do like the ideas they have with how they can blend into the zombie apocalypse world, basically, of how they can survive. That's the stuff I do like.
Smell.
Yeah. What was it?
But yeah, I mean, it should have ended after Alexandria.
Yeah.
I mean, it
just goes overboard like afterwards.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. That would pretty much exhaust the movies or the TV series that you and I have collectively watched, unless you've watched Star Trek.
No, but my brother has watched every single episode of Star Trek because he loves Star Trek so much.
Once you get into it, it's like an addictive drug. It's like a new Star Trek series out.
Yeah, it's basically that.
It's like just cut off some circulation, give me that needle. There we go, some Star Trek in there.
Yep. Okay. How about we just talk about like maybe Lord of the Rings, maybe, or something like that? Have you ever watched
Lord of the Rings?
Well,
yes, Is that a question?
Did you just give me a stupid question? Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not taking stupid questions from the audience.
So I don't think we don't talk a lot, you and me, about Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, or just both of those ones.
I think a lot of it is because I don't know why we don't bring that up more. We talk more about Shrek than we do Lord of the Rings.
That could be another one as well to talk about. Or better yet, even the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because we haven't actually mentioned that yet, but I'm sure a lot of people do want to hear us talk about that.
Nah, nobody cares about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. No,
Spider does. Spider definitely does.
Well, Spider had the opportunity to be in this, and he had to go do chores.
He's a busy guy.
Spider, I'm just giving you shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we still love you. No, man.
we can talk about the MCU.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about the. Actually, you know what? I'll give you a treat. We'll talk about Shrek first. How about that? Just as a treat.
No. Everybody's seen Shrek. Everybody knows Shrek, and I love Shrek.
Okay, we'll talk about the Marvel Universe.
MCU is gonna be more fun.
Where did you first started watching the Marvel Universe? Incredible Hulk. Okay,
I started with that.
That is interesting. So you're.
It took a lot of willpower to go to. I started at the beginning.
Because you wanna know when I first started? Was actually at Age of Ultron. That's when I first started.
Oh,
I know. I'm a bit of a late. I'm pretty late, but I managed to catch up.
I thought I was being brave, moving or continuing after Hulk, but that's even worse.
I managed to catch up with everything in that gap after that. So from 2015 to basically Infinity War. So
yeah, but all I know is that the Incredible Hulk, not a very good movie. I don't remember what the plot of the Incredible Hulk was.
No, well, nobody cares about the Incredible Hulk. Everyone just skips it like it's not even there.
Yeah, seriously, nobody honestly cares. No, but let's see, because that came out 2008. So 2008, I would have been.
I think it was 2009. It wasn't. Iron Man 2008.
2008. I pulled it up right now.
Okay.
Don't question me on this again.
He doesn't know.
I'm making sure I have my facts before I go into this.
Okay.
Okay. So, but 2008, so I would have been 14 at the time. No, 13 when that first came out.
Oh, yeah, so that's pretty young then. Okay.
Yeah. But I was at the age where that was a cool movie to go see. It was, big explosions and whatnot. So, yeah, and that's all I remember the Hulk. There was shit exploding, big green guy, there was an orange dude. That's all I can remember of the Hulk.
Okay.
Have you ever seen it?
Nope. Not one.
Don't what? Not worth it.
I know.
Not worth watching.
That's why I've never seen it. I don't feel like watching a movie that nobody talks about.
Interesting fact, though. The voice for Hulk, not Bruce Banner, but Hulk, is actually and always has been the same person.
Yeah, I knew that. It's always been the same person.
Every time, no matter what, whether it's the originals or
like he's the only one who seems to just keep the voice. Like
that's because he does a great Hulk voice.
He does.
This really loud, shouty thing. Hate stairs.
We'll get you're jumping the gun here a bit with that.
Oh yeah, let's break this in. MCU Phase 1.
We could Phase 1. I haven't I managed to watch First Avenger, Captain America First Avenger, and then what else was there?
You've seen the original Thor?
No, I have not seen the original Thor, believe it or not. But I know what happens in it. I do know what happens in it, don't worry. Basically, Thor is banished to Earth, and now you're having a story like you're trying to have another chemistry with Natalie Portman because she's so good at those movies.
Look, Meta. The biggest thing with that you get from Thor is something that actually is something that keeps resonating throughout
the Infinity Stones.
Not the Infinity Stone.
Yeah, but it does bring a bit of story to the Infinity Stones.
Yes,
in Thor.
But at the very beginning of the original Thor, all Thor wants to do is become king.
Okay.
It starts basically at his coronation.
Yep.
But as it kind of shockwaves through, Thor then realizes he's not meant to be king. So that's actually why it's Thor. The original Thor is actually a big movie as far as the MCU goes. But but you have seen the first Avenger.
Yes.
Which was a good movie, but I hate the special effects in it.
It's all good. Yeah, that's fine. Also, Red Skull looks like his face is made of plastic. Have you noticed that?
That's because it was.
It just looks weird. That's all. It just looks weird.
Well, yeah, the special effects of the entire film were just weird. Because you run into the trouble, especially with things like in the Hydra headquarters. You have to have things that look old, but are also futuristic at the same time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work right, and it feels very awkward whenever you're in there. Please tell me you've seen both Iron Man and Iron Man 2.
I've seen Iron Man 1. I didn't.
Have you seen Iron Man 2?
I have not seen Iron Man 2.
You really?
Well, tell me, how much do you like Iron Man 2?
I like it. I like all the making fun of Hammer Tech.
Okay, yep.
That was fun. That's always fun.
I think there was a cameo of somebody in that movie, wasn't there?
Yeah, Stan Lee.
Yeah, no. That was a you know who I mean. No, there was there was an actual person, some witch person, like in real life that was there in a cameo in Iron Man 2. I'm pretty sure. I
think you're thinking of when they mentioned Hugh Hefner.
Yes, I think that's what it was. Was it in Iron Man 2 or was it
Iron Man 2?
Yeah, okay.
But that's actually Hugh. The person that plays Hugh Hefner is Stan Lee.
Oh.
Yes, that's the part they gave him for that one, which I thought was hilarious.
Okay, that's clever. Okay. Listen.
No, but the second Iron Man. Once again, I can see why people hate the movie, but it's actually I like the movie.
I've never seen the movie because I've heard people giving it shit, so I'm like, oh, maybe I don't necessarily need to see it.
An MCU fan.
It's all good, man. Oh, good.
Do you have Disney Plus?
Yeah, I have Disney Plus. I can watch literally any other superhero movie if I feel like it.
That's what I actually use with Disney Plus.
There's a lot of the movies I've seen, basically a lot of the Phase 1 specifically, there was some I just skipped over. Phase 2, I have not seen Dark World, because nobody wants to see Dark World.
You don't have to watch Dark World. All you have to know is Reality Stone.
Everything in Phase 3, so it's all good.
Yeah, the only thing you need to know of Dark World is the Reality Stone is shown there.
Oh, okay. Yep.
That's what the red ether thing is. That's the Reality Stone. Okay, that's all you got to know. And also more Natalie Portman love story.
Yeah, because she's so good at that, isn't she? With all these chemistries.
Then they never mention her again.
Yeah, until they have the four. You have 4 coming in with Natalie Portman coming back.
Right.
Yeah. So with Phase 2,
did you watch Iron Man 3?
Yes.
Okay, which I would actually argue is the weakest of all 3 Iron Man films.
Well, probably with say Iron Man 2, probably with how people are tweeting it, I feel like Iron Man 1 was still the best out of the Iron Man movies. Iron Man 3 Iron Man 3 is still pretty good.
Iron Man 3 is pretty good. I don't like the main bad guy, which I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
I think I remember him, but he was pretty generic, like with how he looks.
He was just
like
he was generic bad man.
Yeah,
or bad guy.
Basically.
He didn't have like some weird ulterior motive. I mean, was it the first bad guy or the original bad guy, which I can't remember, was his father's business partner who then had to give the company back over to Tony, so he was resentful for that. Understand that.
Oh, by the way, I knew he was a villain the moment. When you see him pop up a few times, I'm just like, this guy's going to be a villain. Like, it's no big surprise.
And then Iron Man 2, you have another. Strangely enough, this always seems to go back to Tony's
Is there a reason why
father.
they changed the actor for War Machine?
I imagine they couldn't get the original.
Okay.
Or the original wanted too much money.
Because I just like laughed when he just said, like, he looks at the suit in Iron Man 1 and just goes, next time. Maybe next time. I'm just like,
there won't be a next time.
I'm sorry, man. All right. So Iron Man 3. But yeah, I like all he uses all the suits like he has, like like.
That's a pretty cool scene where he just like he keeps changing out of suits as they get destroyed.
Yeah, I did like that.
But Phase 2 also has its own great merits, like things like
the
original Guardians.
Which is so you can talk about, like, say, a comic book series that didn't have much notice at the time when it was a comic, because not a lot of people read Guardians of the Galaxy, and then when this movie came out, everybody loved Guardians of the Galaxy.
Actually, I would argue, as far as the public, I don't read comic books world, which is actually people like myself. I don't read comic books. I would say that most of a lot more of the Marvel universe is a lot more obscure than the DC universe.
Yes, yeah, I know what you mean.
Because
it's a lot more spread out around the universe, basically.
Yeah, even without all reading the comics, I know who are the main founders of the Justice League. I know of people like the Green Arrow or Beast Boy or anything like. I know those characters.
Yeah, I mean, they should get like if they're doing in the DC universe, if they have the Teen Titans in that, I wouldn't mind seeing it as long as they do it right, because like it's not. When I saw
not Teen Titans Go.
No, I'm talking about the Teen Titans TV show. Teen Titans Go. That's
not the campy
it's not my
version.
Teen Titans. That's basically it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I wouldn't mind seeing a movie like centering around that, like just like with because Cyborg was pretty good in Justice League, but I feel like I want to see more like with the DC characters like they showed in Justice League. I feel like they should show us a bit more about these characters, like the Flash.
I would agree with you. I would like to see a Teen Titans movie. I think you'd have a very interesting dynamic, because I mean the TV show had an interesting dynamic, just with all 5 of those characters interacting with each other.
Yeah,
because their personalities are so different.
And each season they had, it was sort of centered around. It was a focus on one certain character of the Teen Titans. Like you got the first season with Robin, about him and Deathstroke.
Slade.
It's basically Deathstroke.
It was Deathstroke. Slade Wilson is Deathstroke.
I do like, was it Raven, how she's basically, she basically, like, controls her emotions, how, like, she doesn't act like she really cares much, but she also does.
You saw the episode where Starfire and Raven switch bodies, right?
Yes, I saw that. I liked that. Actually, that was a good episode.
Where she explains why her emotions, or she keeps her emotions under wraps.
Yeah, because she's powers.
Because her powers come from her emotions.
Yeah, and it's very dangerous power, basically.
Exactly.
And then when Starfire's power is just something about, like, it's basically her dialogue is like, oh, it's all about magical rainbows, like the power of justice,
Well, her powers are also about emotion as well.
Yeah, but it's just funny how she's explaining it.
Yeah, righteous fury.
Yeah, it's just like, basically, be nice.
The freedom of flight. So yeah, but it's amazing. It's great that you have two characters where their emotions actually are the controlling factor of their powers, but in two completely opposite packages.
Yeah. Also, like our Beast Boy, he's a bit of a dork. He
is a dork.
He's a dork, and that's what I like. But when he transforms, he can do shit, man.
What also I like about Beast Boy is I love the fact that they actually made him a vegetarian.
Oh yeah.
Well, it would make sense for someone who can transform into different animals would have a problem eating those animals.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes perfect sense. I never actually
would get in your head
thought about that context, but that makes perfect sense.
But it makes sense. I mean, I love that fact that they gave him a very specific reason for why he would be a vegetarian.
Yeah.
We weren't even talking about DC.
Phase 2,
we're talking about
Guardians of the Galaxy.
We're talking about Marvel.
We just swapped over the DC. Sorry, we want redemption for DC.
Also, I have no idea how long this podcast is going to be, but it's going to be long.
It's been about 2 hours. That's okay. People can take this on a plane trip. You won't be bored, hopefully. Anyway, but one last thing, please, Warner Brothers, give DC redemption. They need it.
Here's actually Warner Brothers. Let DC do their thing.
Zack Snyder, do not do your own thing. Seriously.
Get Christopher Nolan back.
Yes.
Do that.
Christopher Nolan has basically...
He was the only person... He's the only one who has done a successful DC franchise in the last 20 years.
Yeah. For the whole franchise, yes. Tim Burton, I think did he direct only the 2 movies, the first 2 movies?
I think he did. No, I'm talking the last 20 years. 2000 to now. Christopher Nolan is the only person that's done something proper. Zack Snyder, fuck you with Man of Steel. I hate that film.
Except, okay, Man of Steel, I feel like it's mixed. Like, it's not like the worst. Like, it's not the worst DC movie that are out there that you would ever see.
But there was no character development in it at all.
Well, Superman doesn't they haven't done a good job with giving Superman a personality. I feel like.
No, actually, the series that has given Superman the best personality is actually the show Supergirl.
Seriously? Okay.
Yes, because they actually show Superman in it. He actually has a personality.
That's interesting. Okay, that's cool to know. Also,
well, obviously they don't have Superman in it constantly because then it would be the Superman show.
All right. We'll talk about DC later because Marvel wants a bit of...
Damn it! We did it again!
Yeah, we did it again. Sorry, guys.
Welcome to the Idiots of Randomness, where we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
I will say the whole world around the Guardians of the Galaxy is unique, and it's beautiful, and it's world building. And I like that.
Yes. What I loved about it is that every one of these characters that we'd seen so far in the MCU had some sort of, righteous reason for being the good guy.
Yeah. Also,
none of the Guardians had that.
I like how as a Chris Pratt, every time he's in like a movie, he likes to play. He plays basically as a dimwit. That's basically how most. But
he owns it. He owns it beautifully. He does it great.
Like, it works so well. Okay, no, but believe it or not, it works so well to have 80s music in like a science fiction movie. Yeah. It works so well somehow.
Also, I think it's 70s music.
Was it 70s? It was. I feel like it was 80s, but whatever it was
not enough synth to be 80s.
Okay, well, but it still worked out. It still works in a science fiction film.
Yes, and but like I said, none of those characters have any redeeming hero qualities at the beginning.
No,
not a single one of them. Gamora is just out to try to kill Thanos.
Well, no, she's trying to betray Thanos, basically.
Betray Thanos.
It's Nebula who wants to kill Thanos.
Yes.
But
we don't. We see Drax, who wants revenge for his daughters. Chris Pratt, we have a Star-Lord that's basically just where the fuck's my money? As well,
I like that when there's like
Rocket.
Who? Star-Lord, you know. I just like how nobody knows his name, and then at the end he's just like Star-Lord. Finally, just like somebody actually says his name. I like that.
Yes. Although my favorite character in that entire in Guardians
is I feel like it's Groot.
Rocket.
Oh, Rocket. Okay, yeah, Rocket.
I love Rocket.
Rocket and Groot are great, and I like how Rocket he can translate what Groot is saying.
And then Thor comes in later on. He's like, "You can actually understand him." Yeah,
it was a subject. That's great. I like that.
He's basically I and Am and Groot, all in that order, exclusively in that order.
Yes, yeah. Let me think. What else?
Actually, one thing we haven't talked about so far are the actual Avengers films.
Well, okay. First of all, first Avengers, it's basically a great start to like having superheroes come together and having a cameo of Thanos at the very end. And Age of Ultron, I felt like was just a bit of a cash grab for the Avengers, you know?
It was. Honestly, Age of Ultron
Vision, which is great, but like it kind of felt like you're just making money out of that one.
Yes. And the other thing they put Quicksilver in there, and they couldn't call him Quicksilver because, well, Fox owns Quicksilver's name.
It's basically Quicksilver, but just you're not allowed to say it. It's like saying something on YouTube, like you can't actually say it. It is it, but you can't say the word.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, Civil War, basically what Avengers 2 should have been. That's basically what Civil War was.
That would have been a good Avengers movie, actually. I agree with you. Although the best Captain America film is still Winter
Soldier. Yeah. I will say this. I do think Captain America and Iron Man's relationship developed a lot better by the time they got the Civil War. That's when I feel like those two actually had a bit more of a connection.
Where they hated each other?
Because they're basically, they work together, but they don't really interact with much. But once you get the Civil War is when these two are a lot more interesting now together, when you see these two together. Like,
where they both are they're butting heads with each other, trying to figure out the best course.
Also, I like how the name Civil War is, but there's no actual war until you get to the airplane scene. That's it. Like, that's basically it. That is your Civil War.
Which that's a great... With you guys remember that really old movie?
Empire Strikes Back. Tony, how old is this kid? Oh, he's in his young age. Okay, Tom Holland. I like Tom Holland, but he's just such an awkward Spider-Man.
But that makes him so perfect. He's a 15-year-old kid trying to be a hero.
This is basically how a teenager would act, basically.
Yes. He's actually probably the only person who actually looks like he's the right age to play Peter Parker.
We're done with the origin story of Ben Parker. We're making Iron Man Ben Parker. There's your Ben Parker. Iron Man is dead at the end of Endgame. And how is Spider-Man going to cope with that? I actually like that.
It's not. No. Even that. I'm so glad that we did not have to watch Uncle Ben die for a third time.
Yeah,
in the last 20 years.
We didn't need to see that.
We didn't need to see it. We know that Uncle Ben dies. Great power
comes great responsibility.
Yeah, the whole thing. We're done. We're good.
Yeah.
And actually, that brings up one thing with the MCU is how many different versions of Spider-Man there are.
You know what I did find funny when they had Homecoming for the first time? I thought it was funny how they have Michael Keaton as a villain, because I'm just thinking is this some like DC versus Marvel? Like where they have Spider-Man versus Batman. That's what I was thinking.
I'm not sure that's Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton is Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming. Did you not know that?
Oh, I'm thinking Michael Caine.
Oh, I don't know why. No.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking Michael Caine for some reason. I was thinking Alfred was a bad guy. I was like, that's not.
Two British people were like, fuck. Are you just trying to imagine Michael Caine in a vulture outfit? That is funny.
Yeah.
Master Wayne.
No, Master Parker.
Master Parker, you must not interfere with my work here. That is so funny to think about. Okay.
Oh, you've broken me.
Okay. Also, it's weird to me that they don't have Harry Osborn in the new Spider-Man ones. They have Ned.
They don't have. Do they have Gwen Stacy?
No, but they have a MJ in the movies.
Please, I know you prefer the redhead.
I'm pretty sure everyone prefers the redhead. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. The original Mary Jane, she has her flaws, basically, where she basically always gets kidnapped. She's a damsel in distress, basically.
All she is a damsel in distress.
That's so annoying. That's every climax in the Raimi Spider-Man.
Yes. Well, yeah, but the thing is, I actually like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire was a good, he's basically, he's a good Peter Parker. That's.
I like the quick comebacks and whatnot.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you doing down there? Staying away from you.
Yeah, until you get to basically
that's
the
a cute outfit. Did your husband make
emo Maguire?
No. I was trying to gloss over that before you got.
It's all good.
I already have dirt in my eye. That's actually why I'm rubbing my eye right now.
Oh, okay.
Something got in my eye.
Yeah, but
no, but
what do you think? Okay, I will say this. Out of all the Spider-Man villains, who do you think was the best? In the movies, in all in every single Spider-Man movie that's happened, from the Raimi films to the Webb films.
I will say this: I haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse, so I don't know what the plot is there on that one.
Well, you should see that movie. It's a good movie.
I know I should. I know I think it's still on Netflix. I really ought to watch it, but I would say I prefer Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin. I love him.
I like how he has no motivation in that movie. He's just being psychotic. That's basically.
No, he had a psychotic break. The drug he injected himself with heightened the psychotic break, and then he basically becomes an alter ego, and you can see that struggle that Norman Osborn's having against the Green Goblin internally.
Yeah, I do.
So it makes it a lot deeper of a character. I mean, with Doc Ock, you have a great moment where he realizes that he's doing a bad thing. He's like, yeah, we gotta do it. He talks to the hands like, we gotta do it. He's right.
Yeah, they're controlling me because Who
was the bad guy in the third one?
It was Sandman, Venom, and I hate this name, New Goblin. Basically, Harry Osborn.
New Goblin.
That's what it's called.
Okay, yeah. See that? I think that's why. I think that's too many bad guys in one film.
I mean, okay. Well, first of all, Harry Osborn was sort of being built up in for 2 movies, so that makes sense. Sandman is probably yes. The power works now. Thanks. I'll deal with it later. Thank you. Thank you for wearing pants. Alright. I knew somebody was going to come through that door.
I'm leaving that in,
Are you serious?
Just for you.
Okay. I appreciate it, man. Anyway,
maybe.
I was distracted. What was I saying before?
Something about Norman Osborn. Harry Osborn.
Yeah. Sandman was, for the most part, he was pretty done. He was done well in the movie, but the movie around him did not go well. And Venom, wow. Talk about being one of the most badass supervillains you ever see. Just become such a dork and just be going to church, praying to God to kill Peter Parker.
Yeah, it was such a. Spider-Man 3, admittedly, not the greatest thing.
No, it's not. It's not.
I still maintain that original Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire, that was the best of the 3.
Yeah.
Simply because it was. It just was.
It was. No, definitely. But I like how when I first watched the Spider-Man movies, I thought, oh, these are so cool movies, and now I'm just they're a bit corny.
They were supposed to be, though.
Yeah, but like, it's just not that haven't aged well with action. Basically, it's basically a Power Ranger movie, basically, where you have Spider-Man and Green Goblin just be like pow pow pow. You know,
no, I think it holds up pretty well.
Oh, it still holds up. It's still enjoying to watch. But like it's still an enjoying film, like the first one. It's not okay. It's not like, you know, like seeing how the original Batman series gets worse as it progresses. You know,
once they started adding nipples onto the outfit.
That was you mean bad. The last one, Batman and Robin?
Why would you do that? Why does a bat suit need nipples?
You give bat nibbles for Batman, but you don't give it to Batgirl. Did you realize that?
Why would you? A look into the mind of Meta.
No, I'm just saying, like you. Okay, so you have no problem with adding nipples into the bat suit. Like you say, oh, it's basically normal. Just not normal for, like, you know, because we know it's not normal for the other one, but we believe it is normal for men to show their nipples on their outfit. It's just, it's so, I don't understand why you even did that in the first place. Just don't have it on them.
We found something that triggers Meta's anxiety. We just bring up.
Oh, you forgot one more thing. A bat credit card. He has a bat credit card. Remember that?
I'll be honest, I've never actually watched that era of Batman films. I've seen Michael Keaton's Batman.
When they're betting, and then Batman just pulls out a bat card, and it makes the sound of go, fritching! Never leave the cave without it.
Why?
I don't know why.
Why?
But Arnold, man, he's having a blast in that. He's having a blast with the ice puns.
He was Mr. Freeze.
He was Mr. Freeze having ice puns. He was. That's all they gave him for it. It's just.
Like I said, that era actually derailed all of the DC movies.
Well, that was okay. So that was like a dark time in the
actually
superhero.
Funny thing about that time period, and I honestly believe it was that Batman film that derailed it. Did you know at one point that Nicolas Cage was supposed to play Superman?
What? I cannot imagine Nicolas Cage playing a Superman.
There is a picture of him being fitted for an outfit.
What the hell? I'm just trying to imagine that now. I cannot see him as a Superman.
Let's see if I can. I'll see if I can find it for you. I'll send it to you later. But Batman
Begins was definitely a pleasant movie for after Batman Robin. That was definitely a good. It's a good high point. That was. What are you trying to look for?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the Nicolas Cage Superman.
Yeah, he's trying to find it. He'll probably just he will just edit it into the video, just popping up on the screen. There you go, Nicolas Cage.
Oh no, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna figure out a way to send it to you, because right now I can't see the other screen because it's on the first screen, and that's where my Discord's hiding.
Yes,
I can't turn that off.
It's interesting though how with the Spider-Man films, somebody finds out who Spider-Man is, and now everybody knows who Spider-Man is.
Oh my god, when they brought James Jameson
J.K. Simmons. Yes,
when they brought him in, I was like, I was ready for the bonus series. I saw them like, I fanboyed so hard.
I was
because J. Jonah Jameson was one of my favorite.
If there's one character that ever needs to come back, it was J.K. Simmons, without doubt. That was
they needed him.
He is without doubt one of the best things that still holds up in the Spider-Man movie, in the Raimi Spider-Man films.
I love watching
photos of Spider-Man. Catch him in the act.
Doctor Strange. That's not bad, but it's taken.
Taken. Yeah, I like that. I remember that reference. Like, it's not bad, but it's taken. Oh, I know. Dr. Octopus.
Doc Ock. Excellent, sir. By the way, if you take a look at your Discord messages, you will find Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. Let me just have a little peek at this before. By the way, Spider says he's available now. And that was like
that's great.
You want to know when that happened? Guess what? When that happened, that was
an hour ago. An hour ago.
2 hours ago.
when we started, basically.
Basically. No, it was
gonna be such a long...
It was 20 minutes after we started.
Oh, lovely. Wait, we've been doing this for 2.5 hours?
Oh, let me check. Yeah, it's 2 hours now. We hit the 2 hour mark.
Holy fuck!
This is going to be the longest podcast we've ever done, and we're having so much fun.
This might get broken up into 2 episodes.
Yeah, maybe 2 episodes. You just cut to there. It's all good. Oh my god, what the What is up with his hair?
I know! He looks like he's in a grunge band.
This is not Photoshop. Like, that's actually a photo of him?
That's actually what it was.
Oh my god. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I know, right? At least
it's like a mixture of having Severus Snape in a Batman outfit. I want to see Alan Rickman in Photoshop. Severus Snape in a Superman outfit.
It is so bad, but it's so wonderful for
it. Before we get off topic,
we already all are off topic.
Okay, so interesting. Okay, Michael Keaton, he is definitely intimidating as a supervillain. Like,
we're back to Vulture now. That took me a second.
No, we're going to Vulture, and then we're going to Mysterio. But I want to talk about Vulture for a moment. He is intimidating. No, first Vulture, then we're going to talk about Mysterio.
No, Mysterio.
Oh, Mysterio, my God. I forgot you've done that before. Yeah, so
okay.
I do like how okay, when you see him at like when Peter's going up to the door, he's knocking on the door, and then you open up the door, you see the Vulture. That was like an oh shit moment, right? You know what I mean?
I'll be honest, I've watched Homecoming once, and it wasn't like I didn't fall in love with the movie. I'll be perfectly honest.
Oh, well, I thought the movie was good, but I was like, oh shit.
MJ was my favorite person in that entire film.
Well, luckily, she gets more attention in Far From Home.
No, I liked her because she was so understated.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
She's like, I don't give a shit. I don't know what's going on. You're Spider-Man, aren't you? I know that was Far From Home.
Yeah.
It was just like, well, camera focus. Woohoo! Camera. There you go.
Also, we have a nickname for when people get snapped back. It's called the blip.
The blip.
The blip. It's...
Yeah, he got blipped. He's actually 17.
I like how... I just laughed when they did this. Is the first thing they do in the Spider-Man Far From Home, after Endgame, they have a tribute of all the people who died in Endgame. Just so... I'm just like, this is just a way
just to rip our hearts out
it's just
more.
It's just so that, like, oh, you didn't see Endgame? Let's just spoil it for you. This character died. That character dies. This character... I'm just like...
Well... The thing is, I mean, I think everybody kind of knew that that Far From Home was going to have some major Endgame spoilers.
Well, yeah, well, they say it everything. They say it before you even watch the trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home. It's like, if you haven't seen Endgame yet, make sure you watch it before watching this trailer.
Don't watch this. So, I mean, they gave fair warning.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, listen. Sorry, I got tongue-tied there for a second. No, I mean, I never really watched much of Homecoming or Far From Home. I watched them each once, and I haven't touched them since. Probably because they're not on Disney Plus. They're still because they're controlled by Sony.
It makes sense because they're still owned by Sony, and Sony will always keep the franchise that is keeping them alive, basically.
Oh, basically at this point, Sony will not release Spider-Man under any circumstance. I mean, Disney would have to give them so much money.
What other Sony products are there?
Cameras. And
no, I meant in movies in general. My point exactly. Like, I can't think of anything else but Jumanji and Spider-Man. That's it. That is the only two franchises they're making money on, and that is keeping them alive, basically.
Yeah, I agree. I can't think of anything good from Sony in the last 20 years that doesn't involve Jumanji or the Spider-Man series.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure there isn't anything. Okay.
Now, one thing we'll talk about before we move on to anything else is I want to talk about the new movies that are coming out for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So like Black Widow and Doctor Strange and all that. Like just a small talk on that one.
I'm looking forward to Black Widow because honestly, ever since I saw her ever since Iron Man 2, I wanted to see more of Black Widow beyond just what we see in the
They give us a bit of Black Widow a lot throughout the movies. Like,
throughout the Avengers and the Captain America
I'm just wondering to
series.
myself is like, you know how she basically says the Avengers is her family. Who are these group of people she's with?
Her family.
Basically, maybe a family that died in this movie that is coming out. That's probably why she never talks about them afterwards. I don't know. It's something where I'm just like, do I need to know? Is it going to be that important to you? I don't know.
I want to know. I want to see more of her, and I want to see her in the front. I want to see her as the main character now.
Yeah, like I think the most interesting thing about her is her backstory. How she's was it living in an abusive orphanage?
I want to see where she got all that red.
Was that where she came from? An orphanage where she was abused? Yeah,
I think so. I don't remember completely.
Well, I forget the whole concept, but I think it was something like that.
No, I mean, I'm looking forward to Black Widow. I really want to see that's coming out later this year. Assuming
it depends. Like wherever this quarantine is going down, it's going to be delayed. I don't even know.
That or they'll just do a digital release, like a digital premiere where you just buy it.
Yeah, the only problem is you're not going to get a lot of box office money out of that.
You'll still get somebody. They'll take a major hit if they do.
It basically will be a big drop from where it would have been.
Yeah. The other one is the other stuff that's coming up is like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Just a second, somebody's
looking forward to that. And there's shirtless again.
My dad wants me to help him move a dishwasher because we got a new one. Like, don't put this in the video, but...
Wait, that was your dad?
That was my dad. He wants me to help him. He wants me to help him put a dishwasher in. I'm sick of the whole shirtless thing. I'm just going to say that because if it gets any worse, I'm going to lose my mind. Now,
yeah, all I know is if I didn't have this gut, I'd probably be a little bit more...
We're going to have to wrap this up in like 10 minutes. So
yeah, we were going to need to move on.
All right, let's just move on. Well, one last thing about I want to see the Elementals? Is it the Eternals? Internals? Is that the
Eternals?
Name?
Yeah,
Internals.
I have no idea what the Eternals is.
I want to see it. It sounds interesting. I will say that it sounds interesting.
I don't know anything about it, so I'm gonna take it on faith.
If since we Disney owns Fox, please give us a good Fantastic Four movie. You know, we need to see one.
Not possible. They tried it. It didn't work.
Well, no. Fox tried it. Disney might be different. You know?
Maybe we'll see.
We'll see.
So our final thing I just want to go over real quick is if we had to pick a different universe to live in, not just visit but live in.
Well, mine's pretty simple, so probably Harry Potter. Like, to be perfectly honest, like
I had a feeling it was going to be Harry Potter.
Like you know, when I was a child, and I'm just I believe everything. I'm just like when I turn 11, I want to get my Harry Potter wand. It's basically. I do have I have a Severus Snape wand, by the way. I do have that. I got that at Universal Studios last year.
Nice. I have to say, for me personally, when I start thinking about it, I don't want to live in the Star Wars universe because that's actually, for the lower parts of it, it's actually pretty big shithole.
In a galaxy far, far away, there's a shithole called Star Wars.
It is a shithole. It's not. I don't want to live in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because I don't feel like having an entire city dropped on my head every few years.
You're just scared that you're going to be one of those people who get snapped. And
yes.
And then you just blip back, and where let's say you're in an airplane and you disappear in the airplane, and then you blip back, you're still in the air, and you drop down.
With my luck, that would happen.
Yes.
Let's see here. I think if I had to pick a particular universe to live in, even though we didn't discuss it, I would want to live in the Star Trek universe.
My brother will be proud of you. Okay.
That's simply because on Earth it's they've actually found a way to coexist with everyone, so there's no war, there's no hunger or anything like that.
Okay. Yep.
And you can travel to other planets and see the world, and it's actually relatively safe.
Look, I hear my brother talk about Star Trek, so I sort of have an idea of what Star Trek has in it that makes it unique.
Have you watched any of Star Trek?
No, but like my brother talks about a lot, so I can hear all the little details. mentions. So.
I would recommend you try this. Go on Netflix. You'd want to watch something out of the original series because that kind of is the essence of everything that.
Now, when we're talking about original
series,
are we talking about the one with Patrick Stewart?
No, that's Next Generation.
Oh.
So the original series is William Shatner.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. The biggest thing though, when you watch something like that, you have to take it for its time period. It's 1960s, and the show was done on a shoestring budget.
Okay. Yep.
And there's a couple of good episodes you can watch. You can watch things like Balance of Terror. You can watch Day of the Dove. You can watch can't remember some of these Space Seed. Actually, watch Space Seed.
Okay, yep.
That's probably the best of the original series. That is a great example of what Star Trek can be at its finest. Stay away from episodes like Cat's Paw and The Apple.
Okay,
those are both.
I'll keep that in mind.
Episodes.
I'll look back at the podcast so I can remember.
Yes. Apart from that, I think that's everything we're going to talk about. Even not that we didn't have enough. We didn't talk about video game universes. That might be another episode.
That might be another thing for future. I wanna get a podcast with my friend Stu, maybe Sesh as well at one point, because I feel like Sesh could have some stuff. I gotta get Chaos in again at some point too. Probably. Is Chaos still gonna be like part of it? 'Cause I'm not too sure exactly how that's gonna work. Is he still into doing podcasts?
I haven't talked to him about it, but I need to do so. And we will be. I'll have an update for that at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
For right now, though, we're just gonna keep operating business as usual.
Yes. Also, I want to get Spider in for a podcast at one point because I feel like he could have some interesting stuff to talk about.
He would have been good for this podcast.
He would have been great for this podcast. I mean, he probably could have actually been to this podcast if I could actually see my Discord.
If we had waited 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If we had waited 20 minutes.
We should have waited.
That's the worst thing. I feel sorry. Spider, I'm sorry.
Spider, if you want to be in a podcast, follow us. Like the video, please. Then we'll add you.
We will work that out.
Yes.
Anyway, go ahead and follow Meta on YouTube and Twitch. I believe it's Metrone and Twitter. It's Metrone in all three places. I'll have links in the description. Go ahead and check out my Twitch channel, which currently right now I am working through a playthrough of Half-Life Alyx.
And I'm currently on YouTube. I'm editing a video for COD. I'm also going to be streaming a bit of COD and a bit of other different type of games, playing with viewers, trying to create a community on Twitch, basically. So if you want to be a part of the community, just follow me on Twitch, and I'll happily have a chat with you guys.
All right, and that's going to be all for us and that's going to be all for us here today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this podcast. Go ahead and hit the subscribe if you're on YouTube. Hit the follow if you're on Spotify or any other streaming platform. This has been the third episode of the Idiots of Randomness, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.
See ya.